Our next topic is about sewage. Hardly a topic of general conversation, much less a fit subject for a television story. But there's a high school class in the small town of Cascade who takes the subject of sewage very seriously. So seriously, in fact, that they've managed to secure over $20,000 in grant money for something they call biocoil research project.
Okay. When we get out there, then probably the first thing we need to do then is run a water test to make sure we know what the phosphate is to begin with, so we can determine how fast it's removing it. So we've got a pretty high algae density in this one. The girls named this one Bizarrely. I got an email from Tessie the other day. She's mad because we haven't renamed the big one yet. She says you can't have a biocoil without a name. So
Clint Kennedy's advanced biology class sets to work gathering test kits, buckets of algae and the various chemicals, gauges and tools they'll need to monitor the contraption they call a biocoil.
now we're going to pig it out. The pigs we use in this.
The project was inherited from last year's senior class, specifically a group of 4 young women who called themselves the Sewage Sisters. They began corresponding with a small company in England that designed the original biocoil to filter contaminated water.
If things really work out well, we'll make some money on it.
The Sewage Sisters studied the design and then decided with some major modifications it could have the potential to replace the septic tanks that contribute to the algae problem in Cascade Reservoir.
Who's got the key? Anybody forget the key?
This year's class took on the task of building the giant biocoil and installing it at the sewer pond in Cascade. Sewage has suddenly become a very serious subject in the town of Cascade.
Somebody want to set the test kit up here on the end and get the sample bottles out? We're going to get one sample out first, yeah. Yeah, the tube there.
Along with biology and chemistry, the kids are learning how to work with the community, building skills, how to search for patents, and what it takes to publish a scientific paper.
Allow 5 minutes for color to develop.
Okay, run the night.
What time is it?
And the hope is that someday they will be marketing the biocoil technology beyond the town of Cascade.
Okay, we added a phosphate reagent and 10 milliliters of sample water after we filtered it through to remove all algae particles and mixed it together and shook it up, and we have to wait 5 minutes for color to fully develop, and then after that we'll stick it back into this spectrophotometer, and then from there we'll read and see how many parts per million of phosphate is in the biocoil right now.
From this tank, it's the pump pumps it up through the manifold and through the coils and back through the manifold, back into the holding tank again.
The inside is an overwhelming mass of pumps, tanks, tubes, and pipes. But it doesn't seem to intimidate these students. In fact, it's questionable who's enjoying this extraordinary class more, the students or their teacher.
When Todd ran the test, you know, if I had to teach just straight out of a textbook, I don't know if I could keep doing it. It's this kind of thing that keeps me going. You know, this is, I put in a lot of hours, but it's fun. It really is fun. Went from 46 parts per million to 21.